Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pop Crime TV's The Outlier podcast. Today, I am joined by Pebbles Wilson. She is the founder of Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, and she's doing really important work here. I am so honored to have you, Pebbles. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Now, on my other show that I do, Primetime Crime, with former homicide prosecutor Jarrett Ferrantino, we recently featured Brian Fitzgibbons of USPA, who you actually have worked with as well, investigating the case of a missing girl, 13-year-old Ja'Niyah McMichael of Gary, Indiana. And she's been missing since, well, we can go back and discuss this, but she was reported missing in August of 2024. But her extended family actually says they haven't seen her or heard from her since June. Is that right?
Yes, based on my correspondence, based on messages sent to me, messages posted on live streams as well by her family members, they stated in black and white that the last time they physically saw Ja'Niyah was at the end of the school year, the 2023-2024 school year. And I was given an exact date of June 10th of 2024.
That was the last time that some of her family had spoken to her. And I think it's important to point out, we pointed this out on Primetime Crime, but her mom reported her missing the day before school started. So that indicates, I think, to most of us, well, she realized that somebody was going to notice if Ja'Niyah was missing because it had been summer. Nobody really was keeping tabs on her. But hey, the school would know, so she kind of had to report her missing.
Absolutely. It's still uncertain, really, what occurred between the day she noticed or realized she was missing, which the date that was given was August 11th, and the following day when she was actually reported missing per GPD post, which was a date of August 12th. So there's so many uncertainties here.
Yeah. And then, so GPD is Gary Police Department. That's Gary, Indiana.
Yes,
And they
absolutely.
put out a silver alert for Ja'Niyah. Is that right?
About a month, approximately close to a month after she was reported missing, a silver alert was issued on September 5th of 2024. Absolutely.
Okay. And this is Ja'Niyah. She is adorable. Oh my goodness. She is so adorable. Now, Pebbles, we know that her mom and her dad were estranged or they were not together. And
Mhm.
you actually did the work of tracking down her dad. Great work. And her dad shared something really, really disturbing with you. Can you tell us about that?
He stated that he had been contacted by CPS. And in summary, he informed me during a Facebook live stream that has been made public on multiple platforms. The allegation that he stated specifically that Ja'Niyah had been SA'd, or rather, I want to say taken advantage of. And that's as much as I feel comfortable with going into that. And he was notified by another agency and not Ja'Niyah's mother when he first learned of these allegations.
So there's allegations that Ja'Niyah was essayed. It was
Mhm.
brought to the attention of her to her father by an agency. Let's say
Yes,
you said Child Protective Services or the
yes.
police, both or
Child Protective Services is what he was referring to. Yes, during that
so.
live stream.
So in order for them to have, I guess, knowledge of this, Ja'Niyah would have had to have told them this, right? Or somebody else, because it seems like, yeah, how else would they know unless it was reported to them?
Absolutely. I do have, and I can furnish that information to you on a later date.
Hmm.
I do have screenshots. I take a lot of screenshots from
Hmm.
statements made by family members or extended family members of Ja'Niyah stating that they are saying, yes, she indeed made these allegations, but she she was put up to it, so to speak. That's what they have
Oh
stated.
God.
Yes, she said that a certain individual essayed her, but with saying that a lot of what this from with this in the same statement, if that makes sense, they've
Hmm.
stated that it wasn't true, that she was trying to protect um, her mother's girlfriend who was actually playing a role in taking advantage of her. So I truly don't know what to believe. I just know that family members have stated that um, they've stated or admitted that to their knowledge, Ja'Niyah made these claims. Does that make sense?
It does. The family is okay. And I want to go back because I want to make it clear we are
Mhm.
not we are not here. Pebbles and I are not implicating Ja'Niyah's mother. However, it's important that we can't ignore the fact that it's believed that Ja'Niyah was missing before August. I mean, no one had seen her or spoken to her, and her mother didn't report it until August. So, whatever her mom's doing, if she's, involved with drugs and she's in some kind of, state of mind for the entire summer, and she just didn't pay attention to her daughter or care about her daughter. I mean, sure, that's a possibility. We could speculate all day, or we could speculate that something nefarious was going on. And we'll get to this, but the apartment that Ja'Niyah lived in with her mom and her mom's girlfriend, it was searched, but the Gary PD, they deployed the gang initiative to search the apartment, which is really interesting. But we'll get to that in a minute. But I want to go back here. So when Ja'Niyah's dad told you that he received this call from DCS or whoever it was about these SA claims, do you recall what when about he got this call, what month it was or anything like that?
I don't recall, and I want to be as accurate as possible. I can always go back and maybe have been
Yeah.
something that I missed in terms of what he stated in terms of a time frame.
Hmm.
But from our conversation, what I gathered is that it was at least a few months before, I want to say possibly April, I'm not sure for certain, but a few
Mm.
months before she went missing, to be
A
more
few months.
accurate in terms of
Okay.
when he learned of this. Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, it's frustrating because we wouldn't be able to see this police report or this DCS report because she is a minor, I guess,
Mhm,
to validate these claims.
mhm,
Uh, Okay, so we've got this timeline. A few months prior to her disappearance, she reports that she was SA'd. And then a few months later, she goes missing. Her mom doesn't report it, allegedly, until 2 months after she initially goes missing, until school is about to start. And then the gang unit is dispatched to search Ja'Niyah's mother's apartment where Ja'Niyah lived. We don't know what they found, if they found anything. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. It was not just the gang response task unit or a gang response team. It was also, they were joined by the FBI, and we're assuming just assuming it was the Indiana's FBI, because there are several headquarters throughout the state of Indiana. Um,
Okay.
there are pictures that has been taken, published, released online, sent to me personally, showing that the FBI had a table, and I can certainly send you some of those pictures set up in front of Ja'Niyah's residence where she went missing from, which is 1951 Virginia Street. And there were items that were, it seemed that they were being processed. There were items that were being bagged. There were a lot of items or unknown items at this time being brought out of the home. And so there are pictures kind of that verifies that much, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Do we know if there were any electronics or any type of computers or MacBooks or whatever?
They did a really good job. The FBI, we're not sure. They did a really good job of concealing what
Yeah.
was being taken out. It
Hmm.
is for certain a lot of things were taken out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yes.
assuming they had a warrant for her phone as well, or I would hope so. But do we know what Janiah's mother, what her story was? I mean, usually when a child goes missing, a 13-year-old, there's a whole story. I put her to bed. I woke up the next morning. She was gone. She was last wearing XYZ. Her digital footprint said she was communicating with this person. I mean, did Ja'Niyah have a social media? Did her mom come up with any type of quote unquote story to law enforcement?
I'm not sure exactly what, I want to be as accurate as possible, what information that they have that they did not release to the public. I can only tell you what I was told
Mm, okay.
versus what was released by WGN Chicago. So
Mhm.
I was told by individuals I won't name at this time who spoke with Ja'Niyah's mother, Miss McMichael. I was told that she noticed her daughter missing at between 12:45 a.m. and 12:47 a.m. in the morning, meaning she didn't actually see her leave. She noticed that the front door was ajar or slightly open, and that's what I was told, and that she wasn't in her room. Okay. And what is in contradiction of that statement is I began reading an article published by WGN. I'm reading this article, and forgive me if I'm stating the wrong publication at this time. I'm
Yeah.
just going by memory. So I'll say a
Mhm.
local news station
Okay.
that she noticed her daughter was missing in the morning hours, as early morning hours, as she was waking children up for school and getting ready to prepare her children to go off to school. So that's a separate storyline that was given, if you
Okay.
will.
So
Yes.
Janiah has siblings. I didn't know this.
Yes, she does have several siblings. Absolutely.
Oh, are they
Yes.
older, younger, boys or
Younger.
girls?
Ja'Niyah is reportedly the oldest. And so she's 13 years of age. She will be turning 14, I'm told, in April. That's her birthday month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do
Yes.
you know what her mom does for work or how she has income?
I'm not certain. I mean, I don't want to share too much hearsay,
You can
but I will,
speculate. We'll
yeah,
do a disclaimer. Speculation.
yes, speculations. From what I've learned from Gary residents, I have a lot of close ties with Gary because I lived in Gary for many years. Is
Yeah.
that her mother was not reportedly clocking in and clocking out for work every day, and may have been receiving some benefits. I'm not sure what benefits for which children, but yes.
Okay. Okay. And
Mhm.
now I did see something on your page, which, by the way, guys, I will put in the episode notes, the Facebook page, Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. You had screenshots, which you mentioned you love to keep your screenshots, which is very
Mm.
smart. You had screenshots of text messages, and these appear to be text messages between Janiah's mother and somebody else. Is that right?
Absolutely, yes,
Okay. The other person, you don't have to disclose who they are. I'm sure they want to
yes.
remain nameless because you didn't disclose, but
Mhm.
these texts indicate that Janiah's mother was planning to give up her children. to
Yes.
the system, foster care, or what? Because she couldn't handle them? I mean, that's huge.
This was back in the summertime. So around June, these conversations took place right around the time that I wholeheartedly believe that Ja'Niyah went missing. She was, in summary, expressing that she was very frustrated with her children. She said, I've changed, but these kids haven't changed. I'm just quoting a bit of what was stated, from sent out by her, reportedly or allegedly. And she seemed to be very frustrated. She indicated multiple times in this exchange she had with this unnamed recipient that she didn't want her mother to have the children. However, she didn't want her girlfriend to know where the kids were going to go if she could convince the state to take all of her children. I thought
Okay.
that was really odd.
Well, that is odd. I mean, and now, how do we know that these text messages are valid? Do you trust this source who sent them to you?
I believe that it's valid because I do my own set of investigations, and I took time to find out whose phone number the sender was registered to, and it was indeed registered to Ja'Niyah McMichael.
Okay. So it was, yeah. So it was Jasmine. Now, this is speculation, and I'm just
Mhm.
thinking about certain things as
Mhm.
we discuss this. But if she didn't want, her girlfriend to know where the kids were going, do you think there's a chance here that Jasmine's girlfriend was posing some kind of threat or harm to her kids, and she wanted to save her kids? And I mean, I don't know. Possibly something happened with Ja'Niyah, and there was nothing that she could do about it. But maybe she's thinking, okay, I can save my other kids. I don't know. Or is Ja'Niyah in hiding somewhere? Or did something happen? And it's like this is really interesting with these text messages.
That is a working theory that I have.
Yeah.
Given other information, there's some information that I'm not going to disclose live that I received regarding her girlfriend, and allegations of abuse that her girlfriend allegedly inflicted on not just Ja'Niyah but the other siblings as well. So yes,
Oh
it's a working
no.
theory.
That's so sad. That's so
Yes.
sad. And I mean, it could be another thing. Like maybe Jasmine, Janiah's mother, knows what happened, and maybe she's not responsible, but maybe she just was trying to figure out how to even navigate this. And then, she thought she had the whole summer. And then, as we all know, summer flies by, school's about to
Mhm.
start, and she's like, oh shit, I better report her missing. This is a tough one, man. This is really
Yes.
tough. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, we do know that our friends at USPA are offering a $10,000 reward. And if you
Hmm.
do have any information, you should contact the Gary Police Department, 219 881 1214. And I'll have that in the episode notes as well. Or you can go to the USPA website, which I will also have in the episode notes. But Pebbles, just a bit about you, because you are this trusted source in that area. People send you information. They send
Yes.
you text messages. How did you get your start into doing this? Because your Facebook page has quite a number of followers, and again, like I mentioned, you're very trusted.
Well, after losing my cousin, my cousin, we call him Bob, at the height of COVID due to a homicide. He was unfortunately killed on the west side of Chicago, and I would say in a roundabout way, grieving his death. We were extremely close. He um, helped me in a lot of ways when I was pursuing my bachelor's degree and my master's degree. It sort of led me into my purpose as I was trying to figure out, well, what role I would play as a journalist. You know, I
Mhm.
have these journalism communication degrees and was trying to sort it all out. And so, and it just kind of, I reported on my first missing person case on a missing teen that had gone missing in Gary. It garnered a lot of views at the time, well over, I believe, 18,000 views. I drove around in my car looking for her, and that was kind of my start on giving a voice to the voiceless. He wasn't reported missing. It was a direct homicide, but just in a roundabout way, I feel like I was led kind of into my purpose, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does.
Yes.
I always think about that. Whenever
Mhm.
I'm frustrated or I feel like things aren't going in my direction, I'm a spiritual person, so I'm always praying and just being like,
Yeah.
"Oh God, just yeah, point me in the right direction here and I'll
Yes.
go with it and I'll trust it." And it sounds like, God did sort of put you in this direction after a tragedy. And I'm so
Mhm.
sorry about your cousin, but I feel like he'd be very proud of you.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. He always encouraged me to kind of go with my heart, to go with my gut, to not give up despite any any kind of trials that I've gone through. And I've personally gone through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations. I've gone through a lot of hardships myself. However, the words, the things that he instilled into me sticks with me, and even with what I do, and it gives me strength to not give up at times that I do just want to give up, unpublish my pages and
Oh, good.
platforms. It gives me a lot of strength to continue on. Yes.
And I think it's important. I think we all go through this as creators and journalists when, something happens, and the internet is a tough, cruel place. And we have these
Mm,
thoughts of like, I'm done. This is not worth it. But
mm,
you got to take a break, I think,
mm.
regroup
Yes.
and realize that you're doing good. You're doing good work that needs to
Mm,
be done, and that the internet and people like you and sites like Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, I mean,
mm.
they really help people. They make a difference. And I know we have limited time here, but I do want to ask you one more thing, because
Yes.
I think you're super brave to investigate these crimes and disappearances in your own neighborhood, your own backyard. I mean, it's scary. People could dox you, figure out, where all this stuff. I mean, are you a little nervous sometimes? Do you sleep with one eye open because you're out there, man?
I've gotten death threats. I've gotten my address sent to me. That's why I'm so private about what I share and how much I share. I've had to revamp a lot of things, change locations, all of that. So yeah, it does get really scary at times, but I'm not allowing what could happen, what someone may do in retaliation to detour me ultimately.
Mm.
Unfortunately, because of the things that I've had to expose in Ja'Niyah's disappearance and other cases I'm working on right now, I mean, as much as I know people are afraid of Gary, and I'm not Gary at all, I have to kind of stay away from the place that I really love and the people that I really love, and we have to be virtual. So it is a lot that I have to, a lot of adjustments that I've had to make in my life just
Yeah.
to continue doing what I'm doing, so I can be here to continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it's tough out there, but gosh, you seem to you're getting the brunt of it right now. So,
Yes.
you're brave, and I think that hopefully Ja'Niyah is found. There
Mm.
hopefully will be some kind of closure. She is a beautiful young 13-year-old girl who deserves to live her life, and I'm glad that we could bring attention to her story, and that we could also spotlight you and all the work you're doing. So I appreciate you coming on, and I hope you'll join me again.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, of course. Have a great one. And yeah, like I said, we will be in touch in the future. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.